Hello YouTube, welcome to Curious Me channel. This is Shabazz Khan, and in this video we will discuss models in MVC. Well, this video is a continuation of our ASP.NET Core tutorial, and the link to the playlist is in the description down below and in the tabs here as well. Now, as we know from our previous MVC overview video, also link in description and in tab, that models in MVC contains data and logic to handle the data. Okay, now how can you achieve this? How can you create something that contains data and logic to handle data? Well, you create a class for it. Simple as that. Now let's demonstrate this using an example. So for that, let's head over to our Visual Studio. Okay, so this is our project that we were working on, and if you remember that we have a few changes from our previous video. So let me just quickly go ahead and revert those. Okay, so how can we create a class that contains data as well as the logic to handle the logic related to that data? So basically, I'll come to this models folder. It is not necessary that models need to have a models folder, but this is done for readability. Okay, so that you know where your models are. Now, what we want to achieve is we want to display the name of a blog post from our database. Okay, this is what we are trying to do. So for that, we need a model. Let me quickly create a model. I'll just click on it and write blog posts.cs. Okay, now this blog posts, let me copy this. Now this blog posts.cs, it will contain data related to our blog post. Let me quickly change the class name. Okay, now this blog post, if you know that this blog post will have, I'll write prop and hit tab. Okay, this will give me an extension to write property. So I'll write, the first will be int. Okay, and I'll hit tab. It will take me to another. You can see that this is highlighted, right? So you can navigate to this highlighted part by using shift tab and tab. Okay, shift tab will take you back, tab will take you forward. Now my first property will be post ID and hit tab. This post ID will uniquely identify each of my posts. Okay, now let's type prop tab again. Second will be my string. Now this will contain the title of my blog. Okay, this post, sorry, title, title. Okay, now next I want the description of my blog. Okay, string description, prop. Next I want the created on. Okay, now this will not be a string, rather a date time. Fine. So this is our very basic class, and this class handles our first part, which is contains data. Okay, now let's go ahead and make a class that handles logic, okay, related to our data. Inside our models, I'll create one folder and name it repo, and inside that repo I'll create a folder and I'll call it blog repository.cs. Okay, now inside that, let me quickly copy this. Well, I can actually use namespace also. So the namespace is models. This is my namespace, and to this I'll add repo. Okay, fine. Now all the snippets are provided. Just write class. Don't choose the first one. First one is a variable. Second one is the snippet. Hit enter. So it will do whatever you need it to. Blog repository. Okay, now I want this class to be public class blog repository. Now what I need inside this class is a method which can handle the data which is inside this class. Okay, so first and foremost, what I'll do is I'll declare a private variable. Okay, and that private variable will be a list of our blog posts. So basically this is nothing but the data. So this is our data which we created here, and this contains the list of those blogs. Okay, now I'll just write it blog or not blog, I'll just write it posts. Okay, now I'll create a constructor, just write ctor and press tab. Okay, parameters, I'll not pass anything. Let's hold this posts. Okay, let's leave this implementation as of now. I think this needs some extension, so I will include this collections.generic. Done. Now let's create a simple method which will return us the blog post that we require. Okay, now so what simply we will do is we will take this posts, okay, and I'll see first. So this will ask me to include system.linkU. I'll include linkU. Basically linkU is a set of methods that give you a very short one-liners for a long code that you need to write. So basically what this method is doing is, this method basically will loop through this entire posts list, run this run this condition on each of the post, and will return whichever post where this is true. Okay, and the first one which it encounters where the x.post id is equal to post id, and it will return that from the list, that single record, and that record will be returned to us. Now currently post is empty. Okay, let's go ahead and add some data in posts. Okay, now we have added this data, and let me just quickly include the system so that we have access to this date time. Okay, now basically what we are doing is we are initializing this list in the constructor, so that in a way we are mimicking our database. Okay, so currently we don't have connectivity to database, so what I am doing is I'm just simply assigning some values in the post. Okay, now we have access to, we have created this class which is nothing but logic to handle the data. Okay, so let's see what is happening here. First we created a class blog post. So the only thing that this will do is handle our blog post and data related to our post. Okay, then we created this blog repository. This repository contains all the logic that we need to handle our data or to display our data. Okay, so we have this only single method which gets our data that we need. Now that we have our model to handle blog post, let's use this model. So let's go ahead to our controller, home controller, and in the index action, what I want is I'll comment this out for now, and I'll simply go ahead and write new blog. Now we know that we have created this model, correct? And this repo. So I'll use this repository. Okay. Now this will ask me to include the class. It's saying using my core models.repo. I'll include it. Now this new blog repository will give me access to a method get post by ID. Okay, and then I'll give ID as 1, and I'll return the title of that. Okay, that's it. That's all I want to do. I'll return this. Now rather than an action result, I'll make this a string just to show you guys what is happening here. So let's recap quickly what is happening here. We created a class that contains our data. We use that class, okay, to perform some logic on our data. So these are the two things that models do. Okay, and as you can see, this model only handles the blog posts and the blog post related logic. That's it. If you want to if you want models for users, authors, you will have to create more models here, which we will do in future. Okay, now let's go to our controller. We used our model to get the post by ID, and then we are returning the title. Okay, so let's go ahead and run our application. Okay, once our application is up and running, let's quickly open our application, and here you can see my first blog is returned. Okay, so let me go back and show it to you that this is the title of our blog which we are seeing. If I change the ID to 2, again we will see, and rerun the application. Okay, it's Okay, it started. So let's refresh this. Now you see my second block. Okay, so basically, just to recap, this is models for you. Okay, these are just classes that represents your data and the logic to handle your data. That's it. That's all about models. Okay, now here you can see that currently we have only one method inside this, which says get post by ID. Okay, but later on, as our tutorial moves further, we will evolve this logic to update and delete and maybe get get data from an actual DB and all those things. Okay, this is just to show you what models are and what is where the data is stored and how you can handle the logic related to the data. That's it. Okay, now the code that we have written here, controllers, home controller, the way that we have written this code, okay, it is very bad. It is a very bad piece of code. Now I have done this to show you that okay, this models can be used to display the data, but there is a very nice way of doing this thing. Okay, uh, basically when you write this new blog repository, what you are doing is you are creating a very tight coupling between your classes. Okay, and if you keep on doing this for your entire application, what will end up happening is your entire application will be very tightly coupled, and it will be very harder to do modular changes in your application or to do unit testing. Okay, now how can we overcome that? Now to overcome this, we will leverage the inbuilt dependency injection framework provided in .NET Core. Okay, now what is dependency injection and how can we use this? We will discuss it in the next tutorial so that this is not lengthy and so that you can understand what is dependency injection from the beginning. We will use this model and we will use this controller to explain it to you what is dependency injection and what are the different types of different dependency injection in ASP.NET Core. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. I hope that this video was very simple and it explained what models is in a very simple way. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe for further videos. Thank you. Bye bye. Have a great day.